session, Entrepreneurship and Innovation for a Brighter Future. Entrepreneurs and innovators create a new world that people cannot even fathom and do not even believe it as a possible reality until it really happens. Apple iPhone, Uber, Tesla, Google, Ola, Oyo Rooms, Flipkart, and Amazon Kindle. All of these names show us the power of innovation and entrepreneurship. Some of these names, in fact, tell us truly how powerful the Indian startup system is at this point of time. Entrepreneurs are harbingers of change and have the potential to even disrupt the traditional ways in which society functions and reduce the dependency on obsolete methods, systems, and even technologies. Basically, entrepreneurs are the pioneers of bringing new technologies and systems that bring change to the society. These changes bring with them improved lifestyles, better standard of living, better morale for the people, and even higher economic outcomes. Through these innovations and alterations, and in the way systems work, we also see a beneficial impact on the society at the national as well as at the global level. And therefore, we must appreciate the value of social entrepreneurship. For this session, we have invited 4 esteemed entrepreneurs who will speak about their individual entrepreneurial journey and the role that innovation has played in their life as a founder and as a successful entrepreneur. The speakers in this session will dwell upon the emerging ecosystem of innovation in India, and they will also discuss their own personal journeys and how they've contributed in improvement of the society as well. So we have on board with us Ms. Ridhima Khanna, Ms. Deepa Vats, Ms. Archana Dutta, and Ms. Savita Garg. I would like to call upon stage Ms. Manjari and Ms. Supreet, who are our students of IILM and of PGDM batch, first years, and they are brilliant students, and they're going to introduce the panel members.
Thank you, ma'am. So, a little about Miss Ridhima. Born and brought up in Delhi, Ridhima did her schooling from Mater D School, post which she did her BCom Honours from Jesus and Mary College, University of Delhi. Upon finishing graduation, Ridhima went to pursue her Masters in Management and Strategy from the London School of Economics and Political Science. After graduating from the same, she was torn between pursuing what she considered to be her technical calling, management consulting, and her passionate calling, food. After exploring the consulting world for a few years, Ridhima went to New York to study under different chefs to pursue her entrepreneurial food venture, Addicted. Established in 2010, Addicted is a brand well known in the food space for its geniuses both in product as well as enabling young amateurs across the world to explore their passion for baking through its culinary classes. Ridhima is a well-versed pianist with a qualified grade 6 from the Associated Board of the Royal Schools of Music. Ridhima was the chairperson of Young Ficky Ladies organization in 2021-2022 with a very successful tenure. An enthusiastic personality, someone who loves sports, travel, people, and just life in its every moment, experiencing and living to its full potential. We welcome you, ma'am. Next up, we have Ms. Deepa Vats. She is the MD and founder of Psyche Panacea with a demonstrated history of working in the management consultancy industry. Skilled in business planning, HR consulting, coaching, executive coaching, and team building. With strong professional in specialization in HR and marketing. With her management acumen, she has taken the company to pan-India level and turned Psyche Panacea as a trainer aggregator platform. With over 20 years of experience, she has introduced and helped develop various interventions for the company, such as result-oriented trainings, outbound trainings, employee engagement program, management consultancy, OD intervention, employee assistance program, sales, counseling and coaching for employees and family, event management, recruitment and training pan-India. Her diligence has also helped spread the importance of inculcating HR programs for employees in several other corporates such as Honda, Reliance, Hero Motocorp, etc. She also introduced result-oriented training in the industry when it was still underdeveloped. She has given shape to all these programs, She is also awarded with CSR Enabler Award by Niti Aayog, recognized and rewarded as Women Achiever Kalam Award for exemplary work in the training industry as a women entrepreneur. Her diligence and hard work begged Psyche Panacea Award for the best L&D practices. We welcome you, ma'am.
Next, we have Ms. Archana Dutta. Conversations, creativity, and collaboration. These three words inspire an idea that how she lives each day. In 2020, she took the plunge and quit her corporate career to follow her inner calling. She began exploring the space of emotional awareness and self-improvement. Pursuing her intrinsic curiosity in this area helped her discover her true purpose, the purpose of empowering people by creating a space to explore their inner self and embed inclusivity, well-being, and self-discovery. This blossomed into an initiative called The Second Act, much inspired by her own journey. Second Act is a medium of rediscovery, a platform that connects individuals with the tools and resources to discover, acknowledge, and pursue their inner calling, their second acts. They curate workshops, retreats, and corporate sessions that enable individuals to transform into their best versions and achieve their personal and professional goals. The social arm of Second Act, Pedal On, is an initiative to democratize well-being and make it accessible to all through impact programs and workshops. They focus on three verticals: well-being for transgenders, youth empowerment, and women empowerment. She hosts Second Act Discovers podcast that aims to help listeners discover their real purpose as they learn from diverse individuals who bring in their stories of courage, resilience, and purpose. Ma'am, it's an honor to have you here. Next, we have Ms. Savita Garg. Ms. Savita Garg is a woman of determination and vision who has made a significant impact on the education industry. She is the founder of eClassopedia, an e-learning platform that caters to the needs of students and educators across the country. Ms. Savita's passion for teaching and a desire to revolutionize the education system led her to establish eClassopedia, which has since become a popular platform for online learning. Ma'am's journey began as a teacher, but her entrepreneurial spirit drove her to create something new and impactful. She took the bold step of leaving her teaching job and started working on eClassopedia, which is now a thriving platform digital learning. Her unwavering dedication and focus have made eClassopedia a success, and it has helped thousands of students to learn and grow as an inspiration to new women who aspire to be financially independent and make a mark in their careers. She has shown that women have infinite capacity to work multidimensionally and balance both work and home from front management. Her journey has begun as a testament to the fact with determination, hard work, and right mindset, anyone can achieve their goals. In recognition of her contribution, Savita Garg has honored with the Women Transforming India Award in 2022. This prestigious award, conferred with Niti Aayog, recognizes women who have made a significant impact in their fields and contributed towards building a stronger, empowered India. Ma'am was one of the 75 women achievers who was recognized for their exceptional work towards creating a Sashakt or Samarth Bharat. Her journey serves as an inspiration to many and a testament to the power of perseverance and determination. Ma'am, it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much, Supreet and Manjri. Now, with these wonderful and inspiring introductions, let's start with you, Ridhima ma'am.
Yes. Good evening to everyone present here today. I would firstly like to take this opportunity to thank the Words in the Garden team for inviting me to be a part of this esteemed panel. I'm going to start with telling you a little bit about my journey from the very beginning. After graduating with a Bachelor's in Commerce Honours degree from Delhi University, I went on to pursue a Master's in Management and Strategy from the London School of Economics. As a 21-year-old, back in the year of 2007, at that point of time, my career path seemed to be a choice between investment banking and management consulting. It just seemed like those were the only two options at the LSE. After dabbling in the field of consulting, working with PricewaterhouseCoopers, getting in my multinational experience, working in the consulting world for a few years, there was a nagging voice in my head that this can't be it. Food had always been a passion for me from childhood. It was an aspect I was naturally curious about and just drawn towards. To be honest, during my year living in London with my apparent education at the LSE, what I really fell in love with was all the food that London had to offer. It was one of the most global cosmopolitan cities in the world. And in that year while living in London, was when the seed of opening a quaint little bakery got implanted in me. And now when I look back, it seems like there were signs all along. My childhood memories of constantly wanting to hang out in the kitchen, spending time with my mom while she was cooking, learning how to bake a chocolate cake when I was just 10 years old, they all seem like pieces of a puzzle coming together to bring me to the profession that I am in today. But all I was trying to do back then was fit into the norm, which was basically choosing an MNC to work with. I finally took the plunge in 2010 and opened my own bakery, Addicted Freshly Baked, an artisanal bakery focused on genuine, high-quality ingredients, big on flavor, being the very ethos. 12 years later, our philosophy hasn't changed, because the core mission and values with which you start your business is very important, because that's what you stay true to. The multitude of decisions that you make after, stay true to that focal point. What has been interesting for me over the last 12 years is watching both the business evolve as well as the consumer mindset evolve. From the very nuances of explaining the flavor of a red velvet back in 2010 to a world today where vegan and gluten-free dietary requirements are an essential, to a consumer that's become so consciously aware of nutrition and health with the availability of information at the tip of Google. We are dealing with an extremely intelligent customer, ensuring that we stay true to our business and can provide full transparency to them. Not only that, today we also run very successful culinary workshops, teaching students through Zoom across the world, both on their skill of baking as well as enabling professionals to enhance their skills on the nuances of the new facets of gluten-free, vegan, and nutritional requirements that have come up. Entrepreneurship as a journey is extremely rewarding and frustrating, in an equal balance for a lot of its part. But what it never is boring. Whether it be the initial stage of launching your own business, the excitement of choosing a name, figuring out a logo, understanding the commercial aspect of your business, broadening your scope and trying every possible thing to make it viable, finally learning the power of saying no and finding your own niche, and then sustaining the consumer demand that you have created through time to ensure that that loyalty and consistency is key. There is no saturation point in entrepreneurship. It's always a journey. I don't think it's a destination. There is no full stop point, and there never can be, because it's a journey where you evolve, your customer evolves, and it's a path that you've chosen to walk along. With all that our technology has to offer today, I think it's become so much easier for us to each represent our distinct selves. Because what is entrepreneurship? Except finding your own unique USP, finding your passion, and taking it out there to the world. Today's customer has needs that they didn't even know existed a decade ago. That's how fast our society has changed. And the entrepreneurship marketplace today is creating a disruption in every single industry, in both a creative and sustainable way, making us re-question age-old models of business. My story would be incomplete without touching upon the facet of women entrepreneurship. In the recent past years, I was very fortunate in the year of 2021-22 to lead Young FICCI Ladies Organization Delhi, a division of FICCI focused on women empowerment, with a wide range of about 500 members in the age group of 25 to 40. I had the opportunity to come across women entrepreneurs and professionals in diverse fields, from doctors to accountants, lawyers, marketing professionals, name it, and we were a wide bunch of women, each figuring our own path out. Organizations such as these give a huge support system, because it gives each of us the opportunity to belong in a society where everyone has a common vision, common problems. Not only that, it helps in providing mentor support, angel investing, and truly discussing with each other and not feeling alone on a path that can at times feel very lonely. I would like to reiterate to all of you here to be a part of such a network where you truly, truly belong. before we conclude with questions which I more than welcome because I think it's only exciting if there's a back and forth between us. I would just like to conclude, find that passion of yours. Have the courage to follow your heart and intuition because somehow they truly know what you want. And take a chance because I promise you it will always be worth it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ridhima ma'am. I would like to open the floor for questions and comments. If anyone has any questions. Can we have the mic?
I can hear him actually.
Okay, that's fine.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
First of all, it's a pleasure to be
Thank
here.
you.
Ma'am, I have a question that for a nation to change from developing to developed, so you were talking about women and entrepreneurship. So for a nation to change from developing to developed, increase in the number of women entrepreneurs is one of the most important things there is, right? So where do you think we are heading to? And what do you think has changed in the past a decade or so?
I think in the past decade, what's changed is firstly, opportunities have become equal. I think there was also too much of a focus on, while of course as women we have our struggles, but at the same time, if we keep emphasizing women have to come up front, and if we stop making it a norm, like start making it a norm basically to have equal representation in both, then it's never going to happen because we are treating ourselves as something different, as something special. So after heading an organization which is over 500 women and all of them entrepreneurs, I think the changes naturally come about. Also, I think innovation and technology has definitely made a change because say safety is a huge matter for women. They don't want to step out, don't want to come back late. You can sit in your houses with a laptop and become a successful entrepreneur. And I think that has been a huge change. And we are definitely heading towards becoming a society where women are going to have an equal voice and say.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
Hello, ma'am. Hi. It's a pleasure. I am also a baker, actually.
Oh, wow.
So I can definitely understand what you went through.
You should come and turn with us or work with us.
Definitely, why not? I would love to, actually. So my main question to you is, as a women entrepreneur, do you think it is particularly difficult for you and for women in general to balance their personal life along with their work?
You know, there's a study and research has proved it that women are much better multitaskers than men. So I think if you decide to do it and it's something you love, you will find a way around everything. If you love your personal life and your professional life, you will balance it out. Just don't think, just start.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing a wonderful experience with us. I have a question. What is the one piece of advice you will pass onto the future innovators of the world?
On the future innovators of the world, continue innovating, and to, I think more than that, to all the entrepreneurs, use innovation because it's for your benefit. So if you're coming across new innovations, new technologies, don't be scared because I think change is the only way to go. And if we don't embrace innovation, we are not going to go forward. So to all the innovators, keep innovating. To all the entrepreneurs, keep embracing innovation.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. If we have any other questions and comments, we'll circle back to ma'am. Let's go to Miss Deepa Vats now. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Yeah. A very good evening to all. First of all, it's such an honor to be back to IILM. I am an alumni of IILM, 98-2000 batch. Yeah. So, thank you so much. Yeah, so it's a feeling to be back home, you know, because this was, my journey started with IILM only, being an entrepreneur because 98-2000 was my batch, and 2001 I started my own company. My first placement was with a startup itself, which was Career Makers, which was in competition with Career Launcher. So that was, I think, my first job in itself gave me ample of opportunity to grow and ample of opportunity to learn so very much in a small startup. So that being a smart, it was my decision to be with a startup, then to work with GE, or that time it was GE was in show, and then maybe Tata's or Converges or something. So there was like heavy recruitment there, but then I decided that I would work with a small company wherein I can be a big fish there. So that decision was something that helped me a lot, and I learned a lot, because there I was, working with the director of the company, all colonels, and I was so lucky to work with colonels there. And the journey started, and I learned about admin, I learned about HR, I learned about sales, I learned about marketing, I learned about operations, all different fields of management that I learned and had my hands on during that journey. And 2001, I got married, unfortunately, because I wanted to live my life. So I wanted to start my own startup before that. But then luckily then got married to a psychologist, and then we started our own company, which named as Psyche Panacea, wherein Psyche, which deals with psychology, and Panacea, which deals with solution of all. So Psyche Panacea, a unique firm that we started with and giving the HR solutions to the company. And I, being an HR person, I was specialized in HR and never knew that I had any instinct of marketing, wherein I was a person who used to hate marketing and sales, no? But then I started my journey as a business development person. I took my company from single organization to 350 organization at present. We have the panel of more than 200 trainers all across India, name many. We are working with Skill India, wherein we had done more than 8,000 training programs in 1 year for Skill India. So very, very much connected with Skill India too. So I have seen the decades, I have seen the growth of entrepreneurship in India. I have seen the struggles of entrepreneurs, and wherein I started work from home only. Work from home is something which started in COVID, which most of the people know about in COVID, but then I was the one who started this journey with this concept of work from home, because I had to balance my life. Like Ridhima said, that work-life balance is really important for a lady. For women employees, for the women entrepreneurs, we have so much of struggle and so much of challenge that we have to go under each day. And I still remember I had my 2 babies, and I never had even a single day of maternity leave, and I was working day in and day out. So challenge of, if I see being an entrepreneur, if we see the challenges, yeah, challenges are huge, because you need to be strategic, you need to study your competitions, you need to, far ahead of the market. Because when we started this training organization, there was a mushroom growth of training organization. It was very, very different to be consistent in the training industry. But then there we started result-oriented training programs, and we thought that let's have, a flavor of psychology there. So we worked with psychologists, we worked with psychiatrists, and there we understand that behavior is nothing but our neuroconnections. So we need to make them unlearn, learn, and relearn. So this is what the differentiator which we had in our training programs, and that's how we could succeed. And we had best of the Navratnas of India in our panel. We worked with best of the giants in multinational company. We worked with Pepsi, Whirlpool, all big companies, JCB, NTPC, Indian Oil, all the companies that we worked with. As a women entrepreneur, I can say that, yes, I've been successful, but then, yes, it's a journey. You rightly said that. It's a journey, and we are still on a journey. We still have so many challenges in the presence of big fours, so when KPMG, EY, and the big fours are there. To be persistent, to be consistent is the key to success. And I really would like to advise students to be on their own path, listen to their heart, but then do not follow a path blindly. You just need to study the competition in the market. You need to be more strategic. You need to know the flaws of the particular business too. Not that you have a passion and you just jump into it. So that's my own learning into it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sure these future entrepreneurs and innovators will always appreciate the grounded advice. So thank you so much for that. Any questions and comments? Anyone?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experience. I have a question for you. What would you say was one of the most important factors that enabled you to attain a pan-India reach?
To attain?
A pan-India reach.
Yeah. So, as I told you that we were competing with, big fours and in India. So, to have the presence pan-India, it was inevitable, and we worked with the corporate in Gurgaon, and our consistency, our hard work to have best of the panel of the trainers, that was something that took us out there.
Also, ma'am, what will be the one advice for budding female entrepreneurs?
Female entrepreneurs, work-life balance is something that we need to look for. I think that's the one foremost thing that we need to do. But then I think we all should be good to take the challenges, as many challenges as it comes in our way. We should be able to take it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now let's move to Miss Archana, ma'am. Please, the floor is all yours, ma'am.
I'll stand and speak if it's okay.
Sure, ma'am.
I get more creative and
Yeah,
more
lovely.
easy when I'm standing, so I'll use this podium. So hi, my name is Archana, and my entrepreneurship journey is not very long back that I plunged. So it's a story that I'm going to tell you about myself. I pretty much fell in the norm, like, my other people on the panel said, fitting the norm is something that women do very easily. So I fitted the norm for 26 years of my life, where, or maybe 30 years of my life, where I graduated on what my dad decided I should do, to coming back to Delhi when, after my postgrad, when he stopped sending me money, to marrying somebody who was somebody that, of course, my choice, but accepted at home. And then from a very easy shift, what I studied in post-graduation, which was advertising and marketing, I left that in a jiffy because my husband was in advertising for 7 years before me, and he said, the two people in advertising don't work together. So you need to decide what you need to do, and I cannot quit right now. So like a good girl, I quit advertising and I went into the marketing side, and I joined Lufthansa, and I very much like a pretty girl stayed there for 20 years of my life into a very 9-to-5 job. Again, fitted the bill because I had kids at the right time. I did everything, managing home and kids very well. And somewhere I was very satisfied, to be honest. There was nothing that I was nudged to do or questioned on my aspiration or anything that was missing. Then Hyatt fell in my lap, and for 6 years I worked with Hyatt Hotels. And both the times with Lufthansa and Hyatt, I was leading India in a vertical for loyalty. I was having a very content life. And then actually life happened in the last 2.5 years. So after a very spiritual meditative retreat for 9 days of a silence program that I went, in March of 2020, I came back and I resigned. I don't know the answer yet why. But that time I cursed the world because in March 2020, everything shut down after I came back. And this was the first time I actually felt failure. I felt like I didn't know anything. I quit to do something which was more on, I don't even know what I quit. So, there was something which was telling me that, this is the second part of your life which is coming, and maybe you've not fulfilled something. And I quit, but unfortunately, 10th of March I resigned, and 22nd March everything shut down. And then my downfall started. I went through a very difficult turmoil in my mental space. I felt everything crashing in my feet. And then I understood what people go through, to be honest. I started working on myself. I started to feel how much need the world needs to feel better. And that's what one fine day in November of 2020, my husband picked up a notebook which read Second Act. And he said, you know what, why don't you be ready for your second act? And that's what Second Act is all about. It is a space which gave me a new meaning to life. It is a space which gave me new perspective to see. It gives me a new meaning to just discover myself. So that's what I now bring in to the corporate world. I do workshops around Second Act, that we all have an innate Second Act lying. It could be because of something that we have never seen before and having a very content life, but life's not about that, to be honest. Or something which is still lying untapped, unheard, undiscovered, and I think there is so much to do. So Second Act has workshops, retreats, seminars, webinars. I have a lot of speaker sessions that I handle myself. From there, I started a podcast journey called Discover Your Second Act, where 100 people have already come on my podcast and shared their stories of Second Act. And their stories of resilience, vulnerabilities, cries, highs, lows, something that can inspire somebody's second act maybe, something that they still haven't discovered. Along the way, social entrepreneurship hit my bucket. I kept doing good work with good intention. I actually impacted 350,000 women in the marginalized communities with the sanitation program that I ran with Plan India, because they saw the intention of my bringing in people's second acts live. So I think when you're there to do work with your whole grit and intention, I think there's a lot to discover. And my last lateral is called Pedal On. It is a social space that I probably now have a full-fledged authority on, which works with the marginalized section, which works with the transgender space, which works with the youth empowerment for marginalized, where I proudly say that well-being is for all, and that's what I'm trying to democratize. So we do a lot of work in that section, where we have partnered with Singer as our partner for livelihood. There are mental well-being partners as well, so it's a well-being center where we talk from mental well-being, physical well-being, social, psychological, spiritual, and financial, because I think to be a whole person, we need everything. And the first person on my podcast became a partner too in another venture called Coffee Bean Retreats. It's a safe space for women that we create. It's a soul work. It's not a profit-making yet. We hope that more women will join and we can earn some profit out of it. But it's a space where we just want women to just be. Because I think there is always a judgment. There's always something that we are supposed to do to fit in the norm. And we allow women to just be and not to fit in. So I think that's another retreat space that we do. We hold a lot of retreats. So I can only say that 2.5 years has shown me a new me. And after having such a complacent life, I do now feel that there is so much still to be discovered in each one of us. So that's all I do right now.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your interesting journey. Does anyone have any comments or questions for ma'am?
Yes, thank you. I just turned 50. Yes, that's. Oh, thank you. The
All
norm, right? Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? Yes, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can say.
Hello, ma'am. So, ma'am, being this consistent in doing what you do, what was your driving force, ma'am? I would like to know. I think all of us.
Being consistent in what I was doing. My driving force was when I fell flat on my face, to be honest. It's my failure of not being known. You know, when you're in a corporate world, you're so high on your horse that everybody knows you for something. And when you come down, that's when you actually begin your life. And I think when I actually did that, I understood that ये तो कुर्सी है. You know, जब निकलेगी तो फिर पता चलता है क्या है. So then I think before that happens to anybody, why don't we build our own, like our own esteem, our own worth, our own confidence, and that only comes when I start believing in myself. So I think that is something that is happening to me now.
All right. Ma'am, if you don't mind, I also have a question. I wanted to know your opinion on how information technology and, industrial revolution, everything has now moved to, podcasts. So what is your opinion on that?
Podcast is such a strong medium, I feel, and this is something that everybody should explore. Firstly, there is no criteria to be on a podcast, to be honest. You can voice your values, show the people who come on your podcast, they show, like the intention to be there because they also align with your thoughts. I think podcast is that medium where, without doing much, honestly, without doing much, it's just a conversation, right? And my whole platform is based on conversation from which the creativity comes. And of course, it's collaboration because nobody can survive individually. So I think there's a lot of merit in podcasting, definitely.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
We have another
My
question.
name is Nitika. Thank you so much. It was wonderful listening to you, and it's very, very inspiring, everything that you did say.
Thank you.
So was it Vipassana, the 9-day program that you had gone for?
No, this is an Isha Yoga program called Samyama, and this happens at the Isha Yoga Center at Coimbatore.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes.
My question to you was, I feel like what you're doing is not just for marginalized societies, but also for ours, where I feel
Yes.
like a lot of us, are very lost, men and women both.
Yes.
How receptive are people in different, fields that you're going into? How receptive are people to finding their purpose or doing something more meaningful?
Actually, I've understood one thing in 2.5 years of my work, that unless you want to change, you won't. Unless you feel the need, you don't. And unless you see the brighter side of you, you will never discover it. So firstly, you want to do it or not is the question. I never read any books on self-development till 2.5 years ago. I can tell you that. Because I never saw the need of it. Now I feel, oh my God, there's so much to learn, there's so much to do, my time's running out. So this realization came because I started to work on myself. So do I want to start on myself is the question I need to ask. And this happens in everybody's life. It happened to me at 50. I'm hoping that the youth of today are able to expose themselves a lot more. In fact, my daughter is the one who inspires me to really, she keeps sending me a lot of stuff to read and write. So my 3 flagship programs that I do in the corporate world are I Celebrate Myself, which is celebrating women in particular, because I think we don't know the art of celebrating us. Second is Only for Men, which is called Lead from Your Core, which is on empathetic leadership, because I think men really need that. And then the third program is on the transgender and inclusivity space, which is called Dare to Wear Your Pink Boots. And this is definitely inspired by what my daughter keeps sending me, is to create an inclusive world. And are we inclusive? Is that the question can I ask myself? So I think the youth of today are so empowered, they're so aware, and there's so much to learn. And from my son, I don't want not to mention him because he will feel bad then. From him, I understand how important it is to also be financially independent. I was always, but now as an entrepreneur, I feel I need to lead. I was always a caretaker at home. My money was always a pool of money. So when I actually quit, I had nothing because I had already spent everything. And I was like, oh my goodness, I have to now ask 26 years of my life working with the topmost brands leading India. I have no money with me. Because I thought this is the thing, he's doing something else, I'm running the house. And then by the end of it, when I wanted to do my venture, I was feeling quite pathetic about myself. And I'm not used to asking money, he's not used to giving me money. So not that he doesn't or he doesn't want to, just that you just do not break your own norms, right? So I just think every woman should know what financial literacy is. Please keep money for yourself. It really helps you to be who you are. So I think this is what I've learned from my son, to be honest. So kudos to both my children who really empower me every day.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. If we have any other questions or comments, we can always circle back. And I'm sure all of the panel members will be available for a discussion afterwards as well. So we have Ms. Savita Garg next. Ma'am, the floor is all yours.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Savita Garg, a proud Delhiite. I am honored to be here today on the occasion of Dilli ki Mahilayen, a celebration of incredible women of Delhi. ई क्लासोपीडिया के बारे में बताने से पहले मैं आपको अपनी जर्नी के बारे में बताना चाहती हूँ। मैं एक राजस्थान के एक छोटे से शहर सवाई माधोपुर से हूँ। मैं अपनी पढ़ाई में अच्छी होने के बावजूद भी वहाँ पर एजुकेशन का इतना अच्छा स्कोप नहीं था। यदि आपको हायर एजुकेशन पढ़ना है तो आपको या तो दिल्ली मूव करना होगा या जयपुर मूव करना होगा। ऐसे सर्कमस्टांसेस में मैंने वहाँ से हिंदी लिटरेचर में एमए पास किया और आफ्टर मैरिज आई हैव कम दिल्ली आने के बाद में मैंने 2017 में ई क्लासोपीडिया की शुरुआत की। इसके पीछे 2 रीज़न थे। फर्स्ट ये कि बचपन से मेरा सपना था कि एक एजुकेशन सभी के लिए समान अवसर देना चाहिए। एजुकेशन की एक्सेसिबिलिटी सभी जगह लोकेशन में सभी रिमोट एरिया में जो लोग रहते हैं या स्मॉल टाउन में रहते हैं वहाँ सभी के लिए समान अपॉर्चुनिटी होनी चाहिए। दूसरी, जब मैं अपने 2 बच्चों की जन्म देने के बाद में मैं स्कूल में दिल्ली की प्राइवेट स्कूल में पढ़ाया करती थी, लेकिन मुझे अपना जॉब छोड़ना पड़ा क्योंकि सोशल और फैमिली लाइबिलिटीज़ को मैं पूरी तरह से कंप्लीट नहीं कर पा रही थी। तो जैसा कि हम हज़ारों महिलाएं मेरी तरह हज़ारों महिलाएं होती हैं जो सोशल लाइबिलिटीज़, फैमिली लाइबिलिटीज़ के कारण कहीं ना कहीं अपनी जॉब को क्यूट करती है, अपने सपनों को छोड़ देती हैं और अपनी फैमिली लाइफ में बिजी हो जाती है। लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं उनके मन में ये इच्छा रहती है कि हम इतने क्वालिफाइड हैं, एक्सपीरियंसड हैं, लेकिन अपने सपनों को पंख नहीं दे पा रहे हैं। ये दोनों आइडिया जब मेरे सामने आए, दोनों प्रॉब्लम मेरे सामने आई, तो वहीं से ई क्लासोपीडिया की शुरुआत मैंने 2017 में की। ई क्लासोपीडिया बेसिकली ई लर्निंग प्लेटफॉर्म है विच प्रोवाइड ऑनलाइन क्लासेस फॉर वेरियस सब्जेक्ट्स लाइक फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मैथ्स, इंग्लिश, फ्रेंच, जर्मन लैंग्वेज, जिसमें हम 11+ करिकुलम की क्लासेस करवाते हैं, जैसे कि IB, IGCSE, ऑस्ट्रेलियन, USA, सिंगापुर करिकुलम की क्लासेस करवाते हैं और ये पूरा वर्क फ्रॉम होम मॉडल पे चलता है। हमारे साथ में जुड़े हुए टीचर, स्टूडेंट, ई क्लासोपीडिया की टीम सारी वर्क फ्रॉम होम बेस पे काम करती हैं। और अभी हमें सबसे बड़ा अचीवमेंट ये है कि 55 कंट्रीज़ तक हम पहुंच चुके हैं और 5000+ स्टूडेंट को हम एजुकेट कर सकें। लेकिन ई क्लासोपीडिया की जर्नी बहुत आसान नहीं रही। जब 2017 में हमें इसे लॉन्च किया तो बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम हमारे सामने आई। सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम यही थी कि उस समय लोगों में ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन के लिए एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं थी। लोग नहीं मानते थे कि ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन से आप स्टडी कर सकते हो। सेकंड था इंटरनेट कनेक्शन। लोग इंटरनेट कनेक्शन इतने अच्छे नहीं हुआ करते थे कि ऑनलाइन क्लासेस स्मूथली हो जाएं। लेकिन मैं अपने आइडिया पर मुझे पूरा विश्वास था, मैं पूरी डिटरमाइन थी कि मैं कर सकती हूँ और मैं इसको फोकस करती गई। अपने चैलेंजेस को मैं चैलेंजेस से आगे बढ़ती गई, चैलेंजेस को मैंने एक्सेप्ट किया और आज इसको हम सफलतापूर्वक रन कर रहे हैं। इसकी सबसे बड़ी बात ये है कि ये आज हमारे साथ में 800+ टीचर्स हमारे साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं जो कहीं ना कहीं अपना जॉब क्विट कर चुकी थी और आज हमारे साथ में जुड़कर अपने आप को एम्पावर कर रही हैं, फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट बन रही हैं। और साथ में हम उस स्टूडेंट्स को भी वो एक्सेसिबिलिटी देते हैं, चाहे वो किसी भी लोकेशन में हो, वो समान शिक्षा का सभी के लिए समुचित और समान अवसर उनको हम प्रदान करते हैं। तो ई क्लासों पे आज मैं आप सभी लोगों से यही कहना चाहूँगी, यदि आपके मन में किसी प्रकार का कोई ड्रीम यदि आप रखते हैं, यदि कोई आपके मन में कोई इनोवेशन है, आइडिया है, तो उस आइडिया पर अपना फोकस करिए। डरिए मत कि लोग क्या कहेंगे। लोग आपको हमेशा नेगेटिव बातें ही बताएंगे, उसके बारे में आपके आइडिया के लिए आपको नेगेटिव ही करेंगे, लेकिन उस पर ध्यान नहीं दीजिए और अपने आइडिया पे फोकस कीजिए। प्रॉब्लम और चैलेंजेस हर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी का एक मेन होता है। आपको अपने चैलेंजेस, प्रॉब्लम को एक्सेप्ट करना है। हर प्रॉब्लम आपको कुछ नई सीख दे के जाएगा, आपको कुछ नया लेसन आप उससे सीखोगे। तो अगर आपके दिमाग में आइडिया है तो उस पर आगे बढ़िए और उस पर बिना सोचे आप काम करते रहिए, हार्ड वर्क कीजिए और अपने आइडियाज़ टेक्नोलॉजी की मदद से आगे बढ़ते रहिए। Thank you.
Thank you so much, Savita ma'am. Does anyone have any questions or comments for ma'am?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing your experience with us. What is the future of EdTech in your opinion?
एडटेक का बहुत अच्छा फ्यूचर है। फ्यूचर में हर चीज़ हर एजुकेशन एडटेक के ज़रिए ही होगी। अभी एडटेक के बारे में लोगों में थोड़ा कन्फ्यूज़न है क्योंकि इससे बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन होता है। आपका वर्क फ्रॉम सबसे पहला ये चीज़ तो ये है कि आपका टाइम सेव करता है। 1 घंटे की क्लास के लिए आपको 3 घंटे चाहिए होते हैं, अगर सपोज़ आप किसी ऑफलाइन कोचिंग के लिए दे जा रहे हैं। सेकंड ये होता है कि इससे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन फीस सेव होती है। थर्ड होता है सेफ्टी। दिल्ली जैसे शहर में रहने के बाद हम सभी को लगता है जब हमारा बच्चा किसी ट्यूशन क्लास के लिए जा रहा है या कहीं कोचिंग के लिए जा रहा है तो हमारे मन में यही रहता है कि उसको पिक एंड ड्रॉप कैसे करा जाए, तो वो सब प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन एटिक देता है।
Thank you so much, ma'am. Anyone else? All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you to everyone. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to all these wonderful entrepreneurs sitting right here, inspiring us all. We learned about through these conversations, we've learned about the core values for business. We've learned how entrepreneurship is rewarding and frustrating, but never boring. We've learned about the different journeys that people have gone through and broken barriers to achieve success and pave a pathway for the next generation. So a big round of applause for all of you. So I would like to bring a token of appreciation for all of you. Miss Nandini, our student from IILM PGDM program, will be handing it over to you as well. So we'll start with Miss Ridhima. Thank you so much, Ridhima ma'am. Now a token of appreciation for Miss Deepa Vats. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now a token of appreciation for Miss Archana. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now a token of appreciation for Miss Savita Garg. Thank you everyone for listening patiently, and I hope this has inspired you all. With this, I'd like to close the session. Thank you so much.
You can come for a photo.